The summation of the June 26th special meeting of the Mendham Borough Council. It's supposed to be a special meeting just to go over some sort of salary resolutions or to pass them. But the council ended up, yammering for an hour on another issue that came up regarding some business, something called Tiger Realty. It's apparently going to be rebuilding some building, and there's an issue about creating a COA, affordable housing unit, as part of the new construction. And the deal sort of is that, I guess, according to the ordinance that exists now, a developer or a builder who's doing something like this, they have to pay a tax of 1 or 2% to this fund for affordable housing. And apparently the town's in a shitload of trouble because they've been fucking with the system for years, and so they might need to create a lot of units in the next 10 years, like 140 of them. So anyway, so these units are kind of important, and I guess if the town gets the money really isn't enough to create a unit. But if it's built as part of another building, obviously it's cheaper for a builder to put it in as part of another building. Like if they're building 3 apartments, it'd be cheaper for them to put in a 4th as an affordable housing unit rather than pay the tax to the town, because the town doesn't get the real benefit of the unit because it only gets some money. So anyway, and they can't really build a unit with the money because it's not enough money to build a unit independently. So anyway, so that's what all this was, all this stuff, because they want to pass a new ordinance that would permit the creation of this apartment as part of a business. So it affects zoning of businesses. So that's the ordinance being amended. And apparently, but none of the council members have read the ordinance. None of the relevant committees have read the ordinance. So there's no way to check to see if the ordinance doesn't do something completely stupid in allowing existing businesses to put in apartments or do something else that the town wouldn't want to encourage. And then the council members are also upset because it's a disruption of a procedure, because this didn't go through the committee process and everybody's too ignorant of what's going on, and so they don't want to do something stupid either way. So that's the real issue, is whether if they acted at this meeting, they might have some protection against losing the possibility of obliging subtly this Tiger Realty company, who's before the planning board now and may be approved in the next meeting, putting in the unit versus getting the money, because the town would rather encourage them to build the unit rather than give them the money. So anyway, you probably didn't follow much of that, but there's this whole thing, like I said, that you're supposed to provide this affordable housing, and you can either do it by paying money to a fund, or you can build as part of your project an affordable housing unit, an apartment, or a small cottage or some other thing as part of your development plan. So that was the deal, and so there was an hour of this going back and forth about figuring out why this was done, and the lawyers going back and forth, and who met with who, and why they're doing it, and why they're trying to sneak it in. And the bottom line is they tabled the whole thing because they said it probably isn't going to matter because the ordinance is not going to pass in time to be relevant, and if it only has to be suggested at the time that the other thing is approved, it's going to be suggested if they wait till the next meeting anyway. So the meeting they had last night, they probably approved some sort of ordinance affecting this zoning thing, because they tabled it at this special meeting. Alright, so then on to the other issues at the special meeting were just brief mentions of oral resolutions that were passed. And so they hired a couple of people to DPW, including a secretary. I don't know why they, secretary? Come on. what are you a secretary there for? How much paperwork is there really to deal with? And then they got some sort of a part-time, they call it part-time summer help, and you're saying at the police department. Why do they police? What part of this? What's the summertime help do at the police department? I mean, fan the cops while they're just sitting around in their cars? I mean, what's this summertime? What's a part-time employee doing at this police department in the summer? Washing their cars? What? I don't get it. But anyway, I'm not going to research it. Who the fuck cares? But it just sounds like shit to me. So anyway, and then these salary resolutions, both for non-contractual workers. So those are the ones they don't have the super perks like the free cars and all that crap. So that's a resolution passed for them, increasing their salaries, no doubt, even though they're way overpaid already in most cases. And fuck that. And the other thing mentioned was some sort of new land deal. The town might be able to get some more open space. They call it farmland preservation. Probably some other racket. You know, so the owner of the property gets a nice big pile of money, and the town doesn't get that much, except the right to say no development. So anyway, yeah, I don't know which property it is. Some Gene Bastiano or something. So apparently be like 80 acres. I guess they extract the 8 acres that have a house on it, and so they will preservate or attempt to preservate the rest. So it's just starting in the works. It's not a done deal by any means or any of that crap. And I guess that would be it. I guess that's about all that was mentioned. Of course, the mayor wasn't at the meeting, but all the council members were, and so the acting mayor guy, can't remember who that is, but he stumbled all over. Okay, he started the meeting with a moment of silence, and then he said it, you know, he just said it plain like that, just simple, plain, because that was in his brain, you know, that's the way normal, rational people take care of this. And then he had to say, our silent contemplation and our prayer, you know. So now they're just going to add, you know, they just made this whole thing a longer sentence because they have to keep shoving that word prayer in there. You just can't let it go. Stupid assholes. But anyway, whatever. So that's it. That's the, and I have to read some of the shit, and I really should get with it, and I should take care of the business, but I'm not, because the local crap, I mean, yeah, no one really supports information being made available in our local community. Everybody's just a big complaining pain in the ass, so I really don't do much work because you people don't deserve it. That's the simple truth. You deserve shitty government because you do absolutely nothing to support anything that tries to keep an eye on these assholes.